Coach, some tense moments there in the first half. Didn't really develop how we thought it would going into this game. Second half, a totally different story. What were some of the things that you made adjustments with, and what was the message at halftime?
Well, to be honest with you, to kind of go back to the beginning of the game, we knew that they got some skill that can play. Where they're struggling a little bit throughout the course of this year is they're somewhat young on both the offensive and defensive line, and they made some plays early, and they got momentum going. And I'll be honest, I really feel their staff does a tremendous job. They're very, very well coached. This is a great community who's passionate. Their kids care. So I felt it would be a challenge. I mean, anytime we're going to play against them, we're going to get their best effort, and I know that. I mean, this has turned into a pretty big game. But as far as adjustments at half, we got our kids calm back down. Mm-hmm. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I talked a couple weeks ago to Todd about, hey, they got to listen to the right voices. The one bad thing about the social media world now is that everybody feels like their opinion matters, right? Well, kids get to hear that, and if they hear constantly, you should beat this team, you should run and clock that team. Well, then when things start going one way, then they're starting to wonder what's going on instead of just playing the next play. So, getting that score before half was obviously a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then, we come out in the second half, we were able to really establish ourselves physically, got the game calm back down. We were able to run the football. Then that allowed our defense to play well. And we did make a lot of adjustments. I'm not going to say that we didn't. Our defense staff did a great job of tweaking some things. Our kids were able to handle those adjustments, which, that says a lot about them. And, I was very, very pleased with the way we played in the second half.
Yeah, that whole progression with the touchdown at the end of the first half, and then you guys get the ball to come out, and you just go right downfield. It almost looked like you had a schedule. You knew what plays you were going to run. That's how well the offense was clicking. Was that the case, or were they just like, okay, we need to get into this game, and we need to do what we do best?
No, we talked about half. I mean, there's definitely a systematic approach of how we do everything. We saw some things that we felt like we could start going to late in the second quarter. We were down a couple scores there, so we wanted to try to get one back. You might throw it around. Obviously, that was a great throw and catch by Tyler and MJ there before half. And then we felt like once we got it back within one score, we saw some things we really felt we could try to take advantage of. And that's kind of what you saw in the second half. We did some things with our emotions, some of our shifts to create, to gain leverage on the edge, also to get their eyes wrong with some of the motion stuff. So it all tied together, and then we still have a possibility if we could start running the football, you get one-on-one, you still have some kids on the edge that can make plays and a quarterback who can make throws. So, it all ties together. So, when it's clicking, it looks good. When it's not, you got to figure it out, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it was really working in the second half and shutting down their offense. I mean, McGill, I think we said, had 117 in the first half, but then only had 20 yards rushing in the second half. You guys really owned that line of scrimmage up front. Asher Wilson getting in the backfield, all the guys getting in the backfield. Was that just a thing that might not have half? You said needed. It just almost seemed like it was a little bit of a different emotion or something that they were playing with.
Well, I think it was. I mean, one, the momentum got going. Momentum in sports period is a big thing, right? Even with adults. I mean, look at the NFL. But in high school it's a big deal, right? They're still kids, right? So they start playing with a little bit of doubt and fear. What's going on? What would people think about if we lose this game? Those are things you're constantly fighting against. So we always talk about playing the next play. So there was some of that attention to detail, confidence, and not playing with fear. But also we made some schematic tweaks. We felt like we were giving up some angles. They did a couple little different things with some alignment and leverage stuff, which is good. And like I said, their staff's good. Yeah. So we tweaked some stuff at half to make sure we could gain that leverage back, and our kids were able to handle that. And, in the end, I felt like the second half we dominated the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Rider brand of football there in the second half. So congratulations on the win, Coach. It was tense there in the first half, but we come away with the win, and we're excited to get back home next week.
Yeah, we are too. And, just kind of like I said last week, there's always a silver lining. But to be honest with you, this is good for us. Mm-hmm. We need this. To be down a couple scores, have to make some plays, have to play in a football game for 4 quarters, even come from behind. In the end, that's all good stuff. So, we're excited to build off this, and we'll tomorrow morning with our kids, and we'll move forward to try it.